Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. As you know, my name is Ingram Jones. I have a very special guest with me today, Kevin Hooper, known as Super Kevin Hooper. Am I right?
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
Okay, Kevin. So, for those who don't know anything about you, tell us a little bit about you.
I'm a lightweight boxer from Grimsby. Been boxing 5-6 years as a professional. I've had 20 fights, 117, lost 3. And I'll be fighting for the English title, lightweight title, in October.
Okay. So, you've had... So what level would you say you've boxed at so far, would you say, in your opinion?
I fought for the English title twice before at super featherweight, so I'm in the English title level.
Right, okay. And how did you do in those two fights?
I lost close points decisions in both of those fights.
Right. But that was a lower weight division, correct?
Yeah, that was at super featherweight.
Okay, so now you've moved up.
Yeah, I've gone back up to my original weight. Yeah.
Okay, so what was it like being a super featherweight? Because I know people cut weight, and some people it does well. They feel naturally bigger and stronger at that weight. They think, oh yeah, I can do that. And other guys actually do better as they move up in weight. How is it for you?
Yeah, first time it was all right. It was good, but obviously the second time it was really hard making the weight, and it was just hard fat burning all the time. That's all I was doing.
Okay, so tell us more about you as a fighter. Tell us. If I didn't know, if I'd never seen you fight before, what sort of style do you have?
Before I was like a back foot counter puncher, but now I've recently changed my style under new trainer. I'm on the front foot more, aggressive. I still be slick. I still can be box on the back foot, so I'm all round. Could do anything really. So.
Okay, who's your trainer?
Mick Blythen.
Okay. And where's this gym at?
His gym is in Kent Street in Grimsby.
Okay. And when you're having sparring, who are the type of guys you spar with generally?
Sparring. I sparred a lot of people really. I've been over many times across to Gallagher's gym, sparring Crawler, Stephen Smith, Scotty Cardell. I've been sparring over at Ricky Atton's gym as well in Manchester. I've been sparring Anthony Upton quite often.
Yep.
That's really good sparring. Been over sparring Terry Flanagan, and just recently I've been sparring Luke Campbell. So
that's great stuff.
I've had really good sparring. So
I guess it gives boxing fans, people say, who's Kevin Hooper? And then they start saying, oh right, he's this guy who's been with that guy, kind of done this, kind of. So people get kind of more of an idea of who you are and where you're at. So what got you into boxing in the first place?
Got me into boxing is just my friends really. They was going to the local boxing gym, and I was just a little fat kid going to get fit really.
Yeah.
And I just took it from there really, and fell in love with the sport. So.
Okay, so, and then you just got into it and started boxing and never turned your head back, right?
No, never. No, enjoy it. So yeah.
So now you've got this fight again for the English title. What are you doing differently for this title fight that you haven't done previously?
Well, previously it was hard making the super featherweight limit. I was always fat burning and that, but now I've moved back up to lightweight. I'm doing a lot more weights, a lot more pressure fighting as such, like working on the front foot and just everything like that, really. So I've been gaining my upper body strength and everything.
So I want to talk about this situation I want to go back to this weight thing because, as you know, you're on social media. You see it. You hear the rubbish that's talked about social media. You know the people that are boxers and you know people that are not boxers. Just by some of the things that come out their mouths. And I want to touch this thing on losing weight. What are the difficulties with losing weight and having to cut weight to make a fight? What are the sort of things that you have to go through personally?
Me personally, it's just a lot of fat burning, a lot of extra running. I was doing it morning. I was doing it at the end of the night as well. Just like I was running like 6-7 miles in the morning, 6-7 miles at night. Just cutting my weight, dieting and stuff like that, and it was really hard making the weight. And,
right.
I wasn't really touching weights or anything like that. I was always fat burning, and it takes its toll on you, really.
So you just spend all the time just losing the weight all the time. But was that because is that because there are fighters, well-known fighters that blow up in weight, like ghastly blow up 4 or 5 stone in weight, and they look completely unrecognisable. Then when they come fight time, like, wow, you look so different. What about yourself? Are you one of these fighters that blow up in 4 or 5 stone, or do you?
Oh no. I don't blow up in weight. I just, if anything, I put a stone and a half on that. That's it. That's my maximum that I'll go to.
Right.
But it's just maintaining it. It's the hardest thing. And obviously, you're cutting weight and you're trying new things like diets and stuff like that. And it's just getting the balance level, really.
Okay. So they were talking about strength training now, lots of weight training. How do you make the fine balance between being stronger but yet not becoming bulky and slower? How do you do that in training?
Well, I'll leave that to my trainers, really. He sets all my circuits and weights and everything, so obviously fat burning's, the weight training's like a fat burning as well, like you're working hard. So, I just leave it to them, and they weigh me weekly, so they'll know what's going wrong and what's going right.
It's not something like that you really look into that much. It's not one thing that you... Because some fighters are really into that sort of stuff, and other fighters are like, you know what, just get me to shape and I'll do the fighting.
Yeah, well, yeah. I know my levels and that, the weights and everything, but I won't lift far too heavy, what I mean? I'll know my capability and... I don't want to lift that because I don't want to put size and everything on. I don't want to bulk up.
Yeah.
Because obviously it makes the weight losing a lot harder. So.
Yeah, and when you're you're doing the weight training and obviously you're fighting or in sparring, do you feel that difference when you're sparring that much, or is it hard to tell?
No, obviously you feel stronger. You think you can push them around a bit. You can you can move them about use your strength in sparring. You can feel it. It's different. Before, you used to push me about, but now you can push them about, and you just know it pays off.
Right. Which is fantastic. So sparring with guys, obviously the 2 guys that I mentioned, 3 guys. Terry Flanagan, obviously he's going to be fighting for a world title soon.
Yeah.
It's very soon. You've got Crawler fighting for a world title. It's a world title shot he's got soon.
Yeah, the week after.
Exactly, and then you've got Luke Campbell, who's got Tommy Coyle. So, 3 interesting fights, and you're around that mix of working those guys. Let's talk about each one of those guys first and foremost, and sparring sessions you have with them. Obviously, I don't want big disclosure, but just what it's like with the different styles. Let's talk about Crawler first. Obviously, he had the injury, so you sparred him before the injury, correct?
Yeah, before the injury, yeah.
Have you sparred him since since the injury?
No, not recently, no.
Okay, so what was he like when you sparred him then? What sort of a fighter is he? What you saw him when you sparring with him?
Sparring him, he's a clever fighter. He's got a good weight rate, and his shot variety is very good.
Right.
And one thing with him, with his jab, it seems so slow, but it'll catch you. You know what I mean? It's one of them thuds, it'll get you. He's under Joe Gallagher, is well schooled. You know what I mean? He's a clever fighter. So.
Okay. Terry Flanagan. I heard he's a bit of a puncher, a strong guy.
Yeah, he's fast. He's obviously an awkward southpaw, and he's got fast footwork, fast hands. So it was good to have a spar with him and just see where you're level at.
Yeah.
So he's a really good spar.
How do you think he'll do in his world title fight?
Oh yeah. Personally, I think he'll be world champion. Comes
Wow.
out of it, yeah. Yeah.
He's that good, you reckon he's that good?
Yeah, I think Flanagan, yeah, he's a really good lad. Yeah.
Okay. And Luke Campbell.
Yeah, people ask me, obviously, is he what the hype is about him? And yeah, he's a really nice kid. He's a good technician. He's also a good southpaw and really fast footwork and good shot variety. He's obviously he's a clever fighter and he's an Olympic gold medalist, and it just shows. You know what I mean?
That's a very good point. The Olympic gold medalist. You sparred two guys, what, Flanagan and Crawler.
Crawler.
They
Yeah.
want Olympic gold medalists, right?
No.
And then
No.
you've got this guy, Luke Campbell, who's an Olympic gold medalist. Is there a significant difference when you're in there sparring with someone like a Luke Campbell compared to somebody who hasn't been an Olympic gold medalist? Do they have that little bit extra and polished, or is it not really that easy to say?
Well, not really. I mean, because of the age of his career, whereas Crawler and Flanagan are they're like at world title level already.
Yeah.
And obviously, Campbell's coming through now, and obviously he's learning his trade still, but obviously he's got that pedigree from the amateurs.
Yes.
And so, I mean, he's right up there as well. But obviously, you just got to take your time with him, and like he will be world champion, I believe, very soon. Like.
Wow. Okay, I want to talk about Stuart Howell. That's how, obviously, I connected with you.
Yeah.
And talk about the importance of mental preparation. As a boxer, how key is that for you? And what Stuart Howell has done with you?
Well, Stuart Howell is, I mean, obviously, Stuart Howell's good on the mental side. He's helped me a lot, like, through preparing and strategies like before fights and how to get in the right mind frame for boxing.
Right.
And I mean, it's been a strong help, just like getting your mental strength there. So
I mean, you hear a lot of fighters say, "Oh, I'm mentally prepared for the fight," but I know, because I used to get involved with the NLP thing a lot. For those who don't know, what NLP is a neuro-linguistic programming, correct? So with that training of mind, visualization, visualizing the opponent coming to you, visualizing, what you're going to do at certain moments, and getting your mind prepared for that, and you're preparing on what you do rather than what the opponent's going to do. You've got the unique situation of fighting without NLP and fighting with NLP. What's the difference without and with it?
Without it's like you didn't really visualize the fight as such as what obviously Stuart's taught me.
Right.
You just basically turn up, you fight. You don't really think a lot about what you're gonna do, how you're gonna do this. I mean, it's right through training and like you train for it, but obviously you're not mentally prepared for it. It's you don't like. Like you say, you don't visualize when like working with Stuart. You now like you're visualizing the fight on what you're gonna do from the onset, like round 1, round 2. That's what he's done with me. He's like you go through each round, what you're gonna do, how you're gonna do it, and I mean it helps you. It's kind of weird, but I mean it does help you because you're just preparing through it in your mind. Obviously, what you're gonna do. What if they do this? How you're going to react to it, basically.
Okay, so if you were to put Kevin Hooper non-NLP against Kevin Hooper with NLP, and you put the two guys in a ring together and fought, what happens and why?
Well, obviously the NLP will win because obviously you're prepared for anything really. You've visualised on everything, and it's like you're more prepared, and it's. I mean, obviously, you're going to win. You got all them strengths there, and there's no what's the word?
No comparison. No comparison, correct?
Yeah, well, that's right, yeah.
So, okay. Now you've got this English title fight.
Yeah.
When do you fight?
October 17th.
Okay, and who's the opponent?
Adam Dingsdale from Kent.
Okay, I've heard a bit about Adam Dingsdale, actually.
He's a Southern Area champion.
Right.
I think he's ranked a couple of spaces behind me or something, and obviously it'll be a good fight. And I mean, I'm a former Midlands area champion, he's Southern Area champion.
Right.
Going for the English, basically. So.
How much do you know about Adam in terms of his fighting style? Have you ever come across him before?
No, I mean, I've watched him when he fought Derry Matthews on Box Nation.
Yep.
I mean, it was a good fight. He kept him all the way to points and that.
Yep.
And he lost some points, but he gave Matthews a good go. He got dropped early, but survived it. And
Right.
it just showed. You know, I mean, he can last all the distance with a good fight of Derry Matthews, and
Okay.
it'll be a good fight.
So, is your fight? Will it be televised or non-televised?
I think it'll be non-televised. It'll probably go on YouTube or something like that. But,
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a message before we finish? Do you have a message to fans?
Just keep on supporting, and I'll get there. That's all. I'll soon be the champion.
Yep. Have you had any calls from Al Heyman yet?
I'll.
I've got.
Oh, yeah.
He's signing everybody at the moment, so who knows?
Who knows? That's it.
Hey, listen. I joked with a fighter the other day. I said, "Has Al Heyman called you yet?" And he laughed at me. He said, Al Heyman won't call me. Well, Al Heyman just signed him, so anything's possible.
You never know.
Anything's possible. And how do people contact you if they want to contact you? I'm Kevin.
Well, I'm on Facebook and I'm on Twitter.
So how if they're looking for you? I was looking for you earlier on, and there's 1,000,001 Kevin Hoopers. So there's a slight problem there. Which Kevin Hooper? How do they find you in terms of which Kevin Hooper are you?
On Facebook, a fan page, Kev Super Hooper.
Right.
Twitter, Super Hoops 15.
Yep.
And that's all I've got, really.
Fantastic. And finally, where does the super come from?
Well, it just got nicknamed to me by a few of the fans. It's like, why don't you call yourself that? And I've stuck with it. So, I mean, it's a good nickname. So.
And I hear that Ricky Burns is going to move back down to the lightweight division.
Is he?
That's what I understand. He's moving back down. How do you see something like yourself and Ricky Burns?
Well, I don't know. It's if it happens, it happens. But it's just, I mean, obviously, it's world title level, and
yes.
Obviously, I've got to keep building and climbing that ladder. So
absolutely,
you never know. I might get there one day, and you never know.
It'll be a good fight, eh?
Yeah, definitely.
Kevin, thank you so much for talking to Bayloric TV.
Thank you, governors. Thank you.
We appreciate you. Take care and all the best.
I thank you.
Take care.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.